Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a full face-ish of products that I'm going to declutter. I just was decluttering stuff, and I know a lot of people make those declutter videos where they just show going through all of their makeup collection, explaining whether or not they're going to keep each item. Personally for me, I mean, those videos are okay and I will watch them from people that I really love, but they're not super interesting coming from someone that you don't really already know. I wanted to just go ahead, declutter it, put it all together, and then make a full face of it and see if there's anything that I change my mind about, or to show you guys why I'm decluttering it. It's not necessarily that I hate products. Sometimes I just don't use them, or they're not the right shade for me or whatever. So thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking me out, and if you want to see what I'm gonna be decluttering, then just keep on watching. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys non-makeup items that I'm decluttering. This Loma cream pomade. I just don't use pomades in my hair. I've tried to use them. My hairdresser showed me how to use them, but I'm just bad at it. As you can see, like, I barely use any of it, so I'm just gonna pass it on to somebody that will use it. I have a friend that I'm sure will use it. It smells like fruit snacks or something. I don't know, it smells really good. Also going to be decluttering this Sol de Janeiro Coco Cabana cream. I unboxed this on my BoxyCharm, and I know I said that I liked it then, but the more that I keep smelling it, the less I like it. It smells... okay, wow. It straight up smells like buttered popcorn, and that's a scent that will eventually give me a headache. This is the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Kiss Cupuacu lip butter. I don't know. I think I just made a board. I liked it. It's okay, and there's nothing really wrong with it. Again, I just don't like the scent. It smells very, very buttery to me. I'm just gonna pass that along. I have two of these Native brand deodorants. I've talked about Native on my channel before. I really do like them. This coconut and vanilla scent is definitely my favorite, but I have a friend that actually has been wanting to try different natural deodorants. I've not used these before. That would be weird. Didn't love the scent of this one. This is Cotton and Lily, and I just don't love that they're not antiperspirant. I really wanted to be into natural deodorants, but for me, I just want to have an antiperspirant that's just... this is who I am. Those things I'm going to pass along. Some things I am just going to be throwing out completely, and I will share that with you as I go along. I'm gonna do my eyes first, and I'm going to try to give everything a fair shot. So I'm gonna be using like primers that I already know that I like. I'm gonna use this $1 Billion Brow Universal Brow Pencil. If you watched me unbox my BoxyCharm video with this in it, it's very like shaky. For me, it just leans a little bit more on the warm side, and the tip is really, really thick. Kind of harder to be super precise with this. It looks so warm that I just don't think that it can be considered a universal brow pencil, and it's really creamy, so that's not my favorite. I like it to be a little bit more waxy and less creamy. I don't love this. I'm just gonna take a Q-tip to just clean it up. I don't love doing the concealer thing. I just feel like you're caking product on top of more product to cover up that first product, and I just like to wipe it off. My BoxyCharm is late this month, so I still haven't gotten it, or else I would have filmed it, and I kind of feel like it's hard because there are influencers that get it early specifically to review it on their channel, and then if I'm getting it late, like so many people have already posted their BoxyCharm, and I'm like, ugh. So I am gonna pass this along to someone with lighter hair than me, and maybe they can make it work. For eyeshadow, I picked out quite a few palettes. I know this seems crazy, but when I went to go look through my eyeshadows to just see what I didn't use, there was a lot. This is the Rainforest of the Sea eyeshadow palette. Pretty sure you guys have probably heard other people say this, but the pigmentation is just not that great on these. They look like they're gonna be like really nice shimmers, but they just are pretty lackluster if you ask me. And I really, really wanted to love this. The packaging is amazing, and Tarte was like the first high-end brand that I ever loved. So I really, really wanted this to work for me, but it's like it just kind of doesn't do what I want it to do. Another palette that you've seen me use before on my channel is this NYX Ultimate Brights eyeshadow palette. Wanted to like this a lot. I picked this up so long ago. It looks like the colors are going to be super, super vibrant, and that they're going to be just like life-changing, but I don't know, they're just kind of chalky and they don't really perform well on the eyes. Like, I remember dipping into this blue right here and it looking more like this blue right here once I put it on my eyes, and I was a little disappointed in that. I know that I'm going to get rid of these two and pass them on to someone else, but these four that I have here, I'm kind of on the fence about. I have this Milani palette. This is like their old palettes that like show you how to apply the eyeshadow on the back. This one's in the shade Earthy Elements. I remember I bought this palette at CVS specifically for this color right here, because I wanted to follow Kathleen Light's makeup tutorial, and I didn't have the palette that she had. It was more on the high end side, but I really wanted this color. I had all the other colors because it was a pretty neutral palette. I wish I could remember what palette that was. I did follow the tutorial and wore it for probably a party or something. I was really excited to try it. I just don't reach for palettes like this. I'm pretty sure I just have this shade in other palettes, so we're gonna test this one out today. Also have the Tartlette Tease palette. I think part of the reason that I want to hang on to this so bad is because it was the very first high-end palette I ever had. I really wanted Tarte eyeshadows, and once I got this I was like, I'm a professional, I have Tarte. The shades seem a lot more pigmented in this than the other Tarte palette, but we'll see. This Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal palette. Again, we got this in a boxy charm, and the colors look really vibrant, but if I remember correctly, I thought that they were really chalky. The last palette that I'm maybe decluttering is this Protege by Suva Beauty. The pigmentation wasn't blowing me away, especially in the purples, and that's the only thing that makes this palette unique to me, because these three shades, I mean, I've got a million times in different palettes. So to give everything a fair shot, I'm gonna go in with my Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer. Anyone has recommendations for a drugstore eye primer? Let me know. First, I'm gonna go into this Tartlette Tease palette, and I'm gonna take this bone colored shade Whisper, and I'm just gonna set the whole lid with that. The pigmentation's really nice on this. I'm not really having any problems. Whenever I watch declutter videos and people are like, I don't know if I wanna hang on to this or not, I'm always like, especially with bigger influencers, I always think, you have so much makeup, like just get rid of it. Like, it's not gonna hurt you to not have it. But when I started decluttering my stuff, I was like, okay, I definitely get where they're coming from. I'm gonna go into the Milani palette, and I'm gonna take this shade right here, and I'm going to put that in the crease as a transition shade. This is actually super pigmented. That looks good. I'm gonna go back into the Tarte one and take this shade right here. Oh, this is pigmented. I know that lately Tarte has been getting a lot of negative feedback because they always come out with neutral palettes that maybe have like one pop of color. Was it 2018 or 2017? That they came out with that April Fool's Day palette, and it was like the first palette that a lot of people had been excited for in a long time from Tarte. So, and of course their whole fiasco with the Shape Tape foundation. Although I am really wanting to try the Face Tape foundation. This is definitely more cool tone too, so I might hang on to this because I just don't have like a lot of cool tone palettes in my collection. So I've been watching a couple new people on YouTube that are not new to YouTube or anything, but I'm like just now getting into them. I've been watching a lot of Raw Beauty Kristi and Samantha Ravindal. I'm gonna go into this shade right here, and I'm going to put that into the outer V. I feel like I can't see this shade popping up a lot. So let's just go wild. Let's go into the Laura Lee palette, and I'm gonna take this shade right here. I wanna put it all over the lid. Maybe I'll do it with my finger. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks really chunky on my finger, and it looks really chunky on my eye. This looks terrible. Wow, this looks like trash. It all just literally is in my lap now. Look at the pan. I'm not being rough. I'm not a rough person on my makeup. What is that? This is just me going like that. Like, I'm not like digging into my eye. Okay, this looks fucking terrible. Another thing that watching Raw Beauty Kristi and Samantha Ravindal and all the other people I've been discovering lately, it's okay to show your personality. I know that seems obvious, but in my videos I'm a lot of times afraid to just be myself because, you know, I want to appeal to a large audience, and honestly it's boring. Like, nobody wants to watch me do something that anyone else could do with no personality. So, new resolution. Gonna be more myself. So we're just gonna try to save this look with a different color. This shade right here in the Suva palette, I'm literally just going right on top of that shade. So I don't really keep up with a lot of beauty influencer brands. I wanna support people that I like for sure, but I'm not one of those people that buys their products solely because it's their brand. I have like a reddish pink situation, and it looks really bad. I'm just gonna take a brush with no product on it and just blend. I'm gonna take this shade, blend it next to this other color. No, I'm mixing warm and cool tones now, but like, if I'm trying to use these palettes, I don't really have like a big choice at this point. Okay, that's mixing into that other shade and doing absolutely nothing. What can I do to save this? This shade? I literally am putting that all over the lid. I'm gonna go back into the Tartlette Tease palette and take that Heartbreaker shade and then just get the outer V again. Okay, this looks better. I didn't want to take this off and have to refilm this video. I do have this eyeliner. This is the Jonteblu charcoal eyeliner pencil. This was something we got in a BoxyCharm, and if I remember, it just wouldn't show up on my eyes. It literally doesn't show up. Like, even when I swatch it, it's pretty like lackluster. So I do have this It Cosmetics Superhero mascara. I know a lot of people have talked about this and like how much they love it or whatever, and I don't really remember, so I'm gonna test it out today. I know I got it in a BoxyCharm because I definitely don't pay for high-end mascara. That's just not, it's not how I roll. It's not terrible, but it's not blowing me away. I don't feel like it's like separating my lashes very well. The thing about mascara is if you keep like a million mascaras, what's gonna happen is you're gonna pick like a few that you like and then the other ones dry out. And that's why like I wanted to just go through my mascaras and make sure that I liked what I had, because I don't want them to just dry out and be completely unusable. Feels like a heavy mascara. You guys have eyelashes that are better? My left eyelashes are always better than my right eyelashes. I don't know why. So I'm gonna use this Cover FX Blurring Primer, Benefit Professionals, what it reminds me of. This is the Tarte Ready Set Radiant Skin Mist. What I don't like about this is the scent. Oh, the spray's a little shooty. Smells straight up like cucumbers in the worst way. Ugh. And it tastes bad. This has gotta go. You guys know I'm terrible at matching my foundation shade, but this one, the sad thing is I haven't been on YouTube that long and I can look back at my channel and see how terrible this was. I used to use it all the time because I wanted to love it because Kathleen Lights loves it. This is the number 7 Stay Perfect foundation, and for some reason I thought my shade was Cool Honey. It looks greasy. Look how gray it looks right there. I was thinking it had more coverage than this, but maybe not. It just looked dirty, you know what I mean? For concealer, I have this LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is in the shade Creamy Beige. The reason I'm getting rid of this is because of this right here. I feel like I'm going to pop the bottle trying to get the product out of the applicator. Like, there we go. This is so yellow looking. This video is a disaster. Sometimes I watch Jackie Ina and she'll be like picking this foundation concealer combo because the foundation's a little too cool on me, so this one's a little bit more warm, so it'll balance me out, and I'm like, I have no idea how to do that. But maybe I just did it by accident. Like, I feel like it looks a lot better. The coverage on the concealer is pretty good. Part of me wants to hold on to this because it's a nice concealer, but it just takes me forever to get this out. I have the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder, and I have the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Universal Finishing Powder. This one's pressed, this one's loose. I'm gonna use the loose one. It's a sample, and I didn't like it enough to buy it, or at all really, set my concealer. I'm just not really into white translucent powders anymore because I feel like it's a recipe for flashback. They definitely tend to lighten my foundation or concealer or whatever. Now I'm gonna take the pressed powder and just kind of set the rest of my face with it. I'm gonna use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, but I'm gonna use the shade Bronzer, which is not my shade. If I build it up a lot, I can make it work. Like, you can see it on my skin. I'm just gonna pass this along to a friend that can use it. I have this Note Cosmetics blush in the shade Desert Rose. What I don't like about this blush is the smell. It smells like an old lady. And it's not a bad blush, as you can see. It's actually pretty pigmented. I'm gonna take this Pur Sculptor Palette. I feel like these two shades is way too dark for me. But the thing in here that I think can work for me is the highlighters. I'm gonna use the top shade. Oh no, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is emphasizing texture. I'm gonna go into the Protege palette. I'm gonna go in with this color right here and put it on my lower lash line. I like the colors. I just don't know if I'm going to ever reach for this palette. I'm gonna put on the Bodyography Heatherberry lip pencil. I don't like wooden lip pencils. It's just so rough. I feel like if you have anything less than perfectly moisturized, plumped lips, This would be like impossible to use. This is Butter London Plush Rush Lip Gloss in the shade Fireworks. I think this is a plumping gloss. I'm starting to feel some zhuzhing. I feel like I have other glosses that look pretty much exactly like this. There's no reason for me to keep it. My makeup actually turned out being a lot less bad than I thought it was going to. For the most part, I just wanted to share with you guys what I was gonna declutter. It's nothing against these brands or anything. Like, they have stuff that I like. Just those particular products didn't work for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! I'm not ready. I thought I was ready. Ah! I have something in my eye right now. Feels like a rock. Oh my god, what is happening? I feel like I've been sitting here forever, and I'm not even to the face yet. Oh my gooch. Okay, what is this?